walk out of the room and all I hear is, and I go in there and my second born Zane is like losing it because he fell and he hit his elbow or something like that. And I was just so livid. And I was like, that's what you get. Like, I was like, I told you not to do it, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, I hear, because our windows open up in our living room, right where all this stuff is going on. It's opened up halfway or the fullest amount that this window could be open. And I just hear an Amazon package get dropped. And I look out the window and there's the truck there. And as the truck's just there, I see the guy walking back to his truck and I see a neighbor walking their dog, looking into my house, wide open house, like window. We didn't have blinds or like that. And it's like they were looking at like, what the heck's going on in this house right now? And I felt so naked, so like exposed, because I'm like, the world knows how I parent, right? And I just felt so embarrassed, dude. I literally just dude, I just shut down. Like I didn't even move. I just sat there. I was like 15, 20 minutes because I was mad at myself for overreacting. I was mad at myself for yelling at him, but I was mad that I right there before the world, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that house over there, that house, don't go down there. Don't even go near that house. They're unhinged over there. It's just chaos, right? All that just going back to parenting and just like trying to teach, trying to coach, and really just chaos. Meeting chaos with chaos is one of the worst things that we can do when we're leading anybody. So whether you're a leader of a department at work, you're leading volunteers, you're leading children, you're a counselor leading students or a teacher leading students, whatever it is, or you're parenting, right? Responding chaos with chaos is never the answer. And so I found myself and have been more intentional about not getting there with them right away. My intentions, or at least what I've been trying to do more often, is when I feel the pressure to get loud and revert to the spanking spoon or whatever it is, I have to take a breath and go, okay, this dude is overreacting right now. And I can choose either to meet him there or I can be, and this is not easy. And I'm not saying that we get this 100% dialed in all the time. Okay. Right. I can sit there and embrace him, right? And hug him, which is the last thing. When my kid's going nuts and he's screaming like a freaking banshee, the last thing I want to do is hug him. And I remember there was one time where we were in their room and it was like bedtime, and my youngest, Ruben, my youngest boy, he just screams at the top of his lungs, bloody murder. And I get so mad and I grab him and I was about to let him have it. And the Lord said, stop. He needs you to hug him. Dude, in that moment, I picked him up and I hugged him so hard, bro. And I just started weeping uncontrollably. And he starts hugging onto me tight. His arms are wrapped around my neck.
Yeah. Because
what he didn't need in that moment, which I wanted to give him, was a yelling. But he needed in that moment was his father to love him, even in the midst of chaos. If I would have responded with yelling, dude, it would have just gotten worse.
Yeah.
But my job as a father, it's not perfect, but it's to love him through that. Love him in those moments. And I'm not saying that there isn't a time, dude, to, I don't know, there isn't a time to yell, right? But man, dude, most of the time when that stuff's going on, they don't need that. What they really need is for you to embrace them. And that's usually the last thing you want to do in that moment, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
With that, because I agree, I think that being calm is the best way, even when you have to discipline. But how do you go about being calm and bringing out that discipline on kids?
Yeah, man, it's a proactive thing. It's you doing that is not, I'm going to decide to do that in the moment, because that never happens in the moment.
Yep.
You really have to come up with that strategy ahead of time, right? Okay, I know that if I do this, and it's been something that I've been chewing on, meditating on, I don't need to go and meet him there. Okay, if it's been something that I've constantly told myself, don't meet him there, don't meet him there, don't meet him there. It happens, what am I going to do? Hopefully by now, I'm not going to meet him there, right? And so you have to be proactive in deciding ahead of time when stuff like this hits the fan, right?
Yep.
What I need to do is respond with what I've prepared. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to yell. There are times where you have to, like, there's moments where, like, if it's a safety thing, if it's something that's going to cause them harm, I have to do what I can in that moment. If I'm far away and my son's running towards the road, I'll be yelling across that field,
Yeah.
right? Or wherever it is that I am. But if there's a time where I'm sitting there face to face with him and he's doing something that I'm not okay with, there's a moment, an opportunity there that I can meet him at his level physically, lower myself and meet him face to face, eye to eye, level to level, and say, dude, this isn't the way to do this.
Yeah.
And in their mind, they're like, Dad's not domineering me. What Dad's trying to do is actually understand me.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect at it, but I would say the answer to what you just asked about how do you prepare or what do you do, it's just being intentional about planning that ahead of time. And that's just, dude, that's just relationally with anybody, right? And not everybody's a parent, right? So I want to take this to the next step of just like, if there's a conversation that you're going to have, or you are dealing with someone or a coworker, whoever it is, a friend, right? Don't walk into that conversation guns blazing, right? So I started blasting, right? Like, is that Danny DeVito?
Yeah.
That's not what you need to
think
do.
so.
What you need to do is, right, like, come up with a game plan. Okay, there's a book that I've read recently, or I say recently, is probably 3, 4, maybe 5 months ago. But it's, man, it was something crucial conversations. But it was teaching.